Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 32 of the podcast, Jump into Success. Alrighty, let's go! Alrighty, here we are, episode 32, and apologies, we're going out a bit late this week. It's been just one hell of a crazy busy week. All sorts of projects going on here at UKCPD, which has been pretty exciting, but pretty exhausting as well. And so for this week's podcast, what we've got is the recording from this month's live Be Inspired group with a special guest, John Lewis, talking about the runner's mindset. It's the entire recording. We're not even going to edit it. We're just going to put it out because it was so interesting, and I hope you'll enjoy that. So here you go. Hello, and a very good evening to you. I hope you are well wherever you are listening around the world. And sometimes we have people on the other side of the planet. Who knows? And so it's really, really nice to be here again. We've got a great guest this evening, so stand by for that. I've got the ticker going on about the Coaches Growth Club. A few people have asked about this. Yes, you can have a bespoke website that's SEO'd and super, all singing, all dancing. If you join the Coaches Club before, let me get this right, the 8th of March. If you do that, you will be in with a chance. And Steve will design, build, and get your website up and running and help you with all of the law-lawnness of how that comes together. Don't ask me. I'm not that type of person. I know absolutely nothing about it. Now then, I need to change the banner so we all know what we're doing. So let's take that one off and put that one on. There we go. So it's hashtag BIG as per usual. Whoops, here we go. Hey, hello, all. So there we go. We get that going. Brilliant. So hashtag BIG in the comments box, and we will make sure that you're in with a chance to win something this evening. Now, what have we got this evening? We've got a choice. We have our book that we send out with certain programs, Learning to Learn. So you can have that, which is very about critical thinking, developing your critical thinking skills, or a journal for those of you who are interested in journaling, because as you know, journaling is a super powerful way of accelerating your personal development. So, hello, Sarah's with us. So let's have a chat in the box. Who have we got with us this evening? Just say hello and where you are in the galaxy. So here I am in sunny, I forgot where I was then, sunny Somerset. And today has been beautiful. Not that I've seen very much of it, because this week has just been brutal. I've been so busy. I'm almost falling asleep standing up, to be perfectly honest with you, catching up with myself. Busy weekend, the practitioner started, and then I had a day off with meetings, and then another day off with meetings, and I've been trying to catch up. We've been launching 2 new programs, doing loads of changes on the website. It's just been crazy. So I'm still catching up. So if you have emailed me and I haven't responded yet, I promise I will. Right, so we've got Sarah. Hello, Sarah. We've got Paul. Hello, Paul. Obviously, John. Hello, John in Swindon. We've got Jan. Hello from Petersfield. No idea where Petersfield is, but that sounds marvelous. Sunny Bucks for Shirley. Hello, Shirley. Wendy is from Northamptonshire. Hello, Wendy. Sarah from Gloucestershire. She's got a nice sunset. Well, that's very, very nice. Sharon from the beautiful North Wales. Yes, it is beautiful up there. Paul Davis has got, they're all hashtagging, so that's good. And Kay Elston from sunny Somerset. Hey, sunny Somerset, another one. Fantastic. So I don't know where in Somerset you are, but we'll have to find that out. I'm in a tiny place called Kilve. We're sort of halfway between Bridgewater and Minehead. So the biggest kind of village near us is Willerton. So if they sound familiar, you know where we are. Brilliant. Fantastic. Great to have you. So hashtag BIG, and you'll be in with a chance to win one of the things that I've already mentioned. Now, we've got a great guest. So I'm not going to do dawdle. You see, I'm so tired I can't even speak. This is ridiculous. Good job I got this weekend off, and then I have a chance to get my eyes rested. It's just too crazy. I've got a couple of slides to share with you before we go to our special guest. So let's just get those going. So I mentioned about the Coaches Growth Club. It's now live. It's been going. I think they've had 4 or 5 big workshops so far. These are hands-on workshops. They're hands-on. So you do things as you go. K's in Yeovil. Oh, that's miles away. Hello in Yeovil. And we have literally just added 3 more free courses that come with membership. How to start an online coaching business, email essentials, email marketing program, and the 4 C's flywheel, which is a business development model. So they're all bundled in as well. And if you go on the website, you'll see that all of that, business or practice development stuff now has its own section on the website. And that makes more sense. So, and there's some other changes coming to the website very, very soon that I know everybody's really going to enjoy. So be sure to join and get a free website. You might win that. So hello, spring. Tomorrow is the last day of this ghastly weather, the winter. Spring is looking out the window today. Not that I got to see it. It was sunny. It really, really was. It was beautiful. And I think the weekend is promising to be great. So get out there and get some sunshine in your eyeballs. It's really, really important. So Robin Williams says, spring is nature's way of saying, let's party. And I'm going to suggest that's a good idea, to get out there and enjoy the sunshine, away from the screens, get out of the office, get away from the telly. You've had enough of that over the winter. Get out there and enjoy nature. It's the tonic that you definitely will want to have. Now, this chap says, in winter, I plot and plan. In spring, I move. In spring, I move. Now, Monday morning coaching video, we're going to revisit this in an interesting way about revisiting goals and making plans to really do something. Remember, we're thriving in 25. Thriving in 25. That's what we're looking at. So there's another little saying for you before we move on to our guest this evening. Nothing ever feels impossible in spring. And in a sense, I like that idea. It's like, it's spring, the flowers are blooming, the sap's rising in the trees, the birds are singing, chirping, and all that kind of stuff. I was not very glamorous, I'm afraid. I was putting the bins out earlier, and the birds were singing like merry. Wow, it's like a whole orchestra of birds. It was absolutely amazing. So it's all going to happen in spring, and the college will be here to support you every step of the way in doing whatever it is you want. Be building your practice, personal and professional development, and moving forward in life and making the most of every opportunity. That's what we're going to be doing. So there we have it. That's all we've got for you this evening, because we've got a very special guest. And he's been on before. He's a part of our tutor group here. He delivers one of our programs. He's super fantastic. And he's got another program coming. And we thought we would do a little sort of taster of that this evening. And of course, it is Mr. John Lewis. Hurrah! Johnny! Hello! It's great to have you on the show again.
Where's the fanfare?
There you go. There's a fanfare for you.
Evening, mate.
We're over the top today, but there you go. It's just the tiredness taking over. It's just too crazy. So John and I, we used to live next to each other when I lived in Swindon and then Highworth. John lives in Highworth and Swindon. And we lived, 10 minutes away from each other? Not very far. If even that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could never get rid of him. He was a nightmare. He just came around drinking my wine, drinking my coffee. I don't know. It's just shocking. But so John's been a college member for... John, when did you qualify originally?
I qualified master practitioner the year before COVID. So 2019 master prac.
Cool.
Practitioner 218, master prac 219.
Wow.
So what's that, 6? What are we now? Yeah, that'll be 6 years this year. Wow. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Enough, do I?
No, you don't. So, John, before I get your slides up, I'm just going to find them here. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, your practice, your area, because I know you do a lot of different things, and we'll get these slides teed up, and then we'll get on with that. Here we are. That's them there. So, whoa, too fast. Why don't you introduce yourself? Go on then.
Okay, good evening. For those of you I've never met before, and looking at the names down the side, I don't believe I've met a lot of you. There's a couple of names I do, but for those of you who I don't know, so my name's John, obviously professional coach, a product of the amazing UKCPD. So I've run a professional practice now for 5-6 years, pretty much from the time I qualified. It was like, right, let's build a business from this. In fact, even before I qualified, I had the Mr. Rollins slide you put up when he said, in the winter, I plot and plan. In the spring, I action it. Well, I was plotting and planning even before I qualified. And when I got the qualification, it was like, right, full steam ahead with this. I've had the pleasure. I work a lot in business. I work, a lot in people's personal lives. I do a lot in sport as well, which is kind of tied to this, what you're going to see tonight in this whole kind of philosophy around runner's mindset and how we don't just apply it in running, but we apply it in life. We apply it into business. It's kind of a universal theory from my own experience of being a runner, but also a lot of other athletes and especially runners that I have the pleasure of working with and have spoken to in the running community. So, that's me in a nutshell.
It's not just sports, though. Not just running in sports. You do a rugby team and an ice skating team and something else as well.
Yeah. So I'm working with UK's number 2 clay pigeon shooter currently. She's going to be going for She's going to be going for the Olympic team, and that's the beauty of the skills we have. And I speak to all of you here. Again, I don't know professionally kind of what areas you cover, but we've got these coaching skills, we've got the NLP. We've got all these kind of amazing things at our disposal that they're so transferable. That they benefit people in a whole range of life. So, I initially niched in sport, but that kind of grew as I grew confidence in myself and grew confidence in my skills. I get the pleasure. I think for the way my mind works, I need that diversity. I need different, different avenues, not just from a business sense, but just to keep me sharp with my skills as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's my own experience too. Not just do one niche thing, have a broad range of things that you do, maybe some public speaking, maybe a bit of training, obviously the coaching work, but not just to niche it too far down to that. It's great to start with having a niche, but not let it become a kind of a prison. And I always think that's a good thing. Right, let's get your first slide up. And you'll have to remind me to... There you go. Now you tell me when you want to move.
Running. That was back in my days of being an athlete. I've got a bit more of a tum on me now. Since I stopped running as competitively, down the calories naff, kind of start taking shape on your body. Can I just get you guys on the court? If any of you are runners, I just want to see, run. If you could just put the word run in your box, just so I understand, these guys run. You may not, but that's kind of the beauty of this, what I'm going to show you. Yes, it's the runner's mindset, but it's how it's transferable, like I say, and how we could all adopt the runner's mindset and how it can kind of propel us in our personal... we've got an X-Run. Thank you, Shelley.
X-Run from Shelley.
I recognise Shelley.
So I'm an X-Run as well, because when I was at school, and this is like 5 million years ago, because I am that old, I used to be a runner at school. I ran for the county, It was kind of, this guy's going to be a sports runner. And then I discovered the library.
Wine.
And wine.
Run into the vineyards, Tony. That's about it.
Right, carry on. I'll stop talking.
Yeah. So let me just give you a bit of a backstory on kind of the runner's mindset. And the reason I named it the runner's mindset, I was invited to speak at a charity gig. This was around 2018, I think. It was a charity gig. Again, Swindon, where I live, has a massive, very tight running community, very tight, and several clubs. And running is, a big part of the town. And I was invited to speak at this charity event because no one's kind of spoke about the psychology of running before. It was all the physical aspect. We had, a strength and conditioning coach who spoke. We had he's Britain's number 1 ultra runner. He's from Swindon. He may have been number 1 then, but he's from Swindon. We had, a guy from the local trainer shop, Liam. You probably know him from the old.
I know Liam very well. Yeah. We shared the building when we had the old training centre.
That's right. But everyone was interested. When the event was kind of gathering a bit of pace, everyone was interested in the psychology of running, because again, running is one of those things that we do. Same as a lot of sport. Unless you're at an elite level, you kind of do the do. If you're not performing well, you just train harder or train differently. We don't kind of think of, what can I do in between the 6 inches between my head that actually could propel that even further. So people were more interested in what I was going to offer because it was never spoken before to the running community. You know, some of these guys were really good seasoned runners, but they just wanted to understand more about around the mindset of running. Because again, you know, trust me, you know, when you're 20 miles into a marathon or 60 miles into an ultra marathon, it's this that will stop you or propel you.
Yeah.
You know, it's this that will stop you or propel you. So the majority of runners wanted to understand psychological tricks that can help them overcome kind of those points within the run. And NLP has some great tools and other psychologies I've studied and learned. So, you know, for me to actually put this talk together around this, people were really wowed by it at the end of it. You know, we used NLP, anchoring, you know, belief change, all these kind of things, but made it in real time. So when people are running, they can actually use these tools. Okay, next slide, please, Tony, if you may. Next slide, please.
I've got the smiley one on there.
Oh yeah, that's it. It did. That's it. Look, the smiley appears. Next slide, though, Tony. Next, that's it. So, off the back of that charity event, people wanted more. They were more interested in it. Okay, we really like what you've done here, John. And I thought, you know what? I'll put a talk on. I'll just put it out there and see if it gets traction. If people want to come, fantastic. So I kind of devised this. I put it out on social media, and I had 70. I've got the actual testimonial here, and there was 70 people who turned up for it. You know, 70 to understand kind of that runner's mindset. So I put together like a program, like a 3-hour kind of talk stroke workshop where, again, people could understand more around the psychology of running. But off the back of that, some of those people in that room said, you know what, this could be really applicable to my business. This could be really applicable to my life. Because again, the way we think will directly affect our behavior. You know, the way we think affects how we feel, which will then affect how we behave. So, you know, the whole tagline with it is, okay, so let's think like a runner. You know, let's apply that running mindset to our life. Let's apply it to our business. Let's apply it to our life. Let's apply it, obviously, to our sport and our running. And here's why. Next slide, please, Tony. Next slide, please. You know, runners are fantastic at goal setting. Absolutely fantastic at it. Okay? Every runner has a different aim that they're looking for. You know, I've put some examples up here of certain distances within running, but for every runner, you know, there's a different goal they want out of it. Okay, some want a 5K, some want to run and complete a 10K, some want to complete a half marathon in a certain time, some just want to do their first marathon, some want to do an ultra run because, you know, they're curious by it. All runners have a different reason to why they run. They have a different goal, they have a different outcome they're looking for it. Okay, but each of these require a plan. Okay, the whole point in this is, you know, because, you know, for example, if I want to run a half marathon, there's no point me following a 5K plan because it's going to be a different kind of plan I need. So think about that in your life or business. You know, you may have an outcome you want in your life or your business, but there's no point following a plan or following a guidance that is not relevant to what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so runners follow a plan. You know, it's usually in 16-week blocks. Block 1 will look different than block 2, but it's all progressible. You know, we have accountability at the end of each week. So runners are great at doing that. You know, they're great at understanding, right, week 1, you know, for that outcome I want, week 1 needs to look like this. Week 2 needs to look like this. You know, all runners require a plan. You can't just turn up on a marathon starting line and think, I'm just going to do it, because good bloody luck to you if you want to take that, you know. So think of your life and your business. You know, we need a plan. We know what the outcome is. We know what we want, but we need to understand, okay, how am I actually going to get there? How am I actually going to get there? And again, it's the same in, like I said, it's the same in life. It's the same in business. You know, as coaches, that's what we do, don't we? We'll sit with a client and they'll say, this is the outcome. And our job as coach, or our role as coach, is to help them devise the plan to actually make that achievable. You know, that's runner's mindset there. Okay, next slide, Tony, please. Next slide, please. And again, when I said, and I said at the start, how many of you run? And I can see nobody runs. Well, Shelley's an ex-runner. Sharon, thank you for commenting, Sharon. I'm afraid not. So people think, okay, so what's this got to do with me? No, I'm not a runner, so what's this got to do with me? But what you've got to remember, underneath runner or any business person or any boss or any dad, mum, we're a person, and a person has a heart, a person has a mind, as well as the physical side of it. We do things with how we think, we do things with how we feel, as well as the physical side of it. So it's not actually a runner that runs, it's a person that runs using his heart, his emotion, before the even physical side of it. So we need to kind of get all the, the internal stuff on the same page as the physical stuff. So for a runner, there's three other quadrants that are involved here. And again, think about these in your life. Think about these in your business. If we were to take state management, for example, a runner needs to be able to regulate their emotions before they start. If you go off too quick right at the start because you're excited, do you know what? 10 miles down the road, you're going to blow up. We've got to regulate our emotions to think, right, am I using the right emotion here? Am I regulating myself right for this point of the race that I'm going on? That comes from that kind of internal understanding. Also, belief in yourself. If I didn't believe it was possible of me standing on the start line of a half marathon or marathon in 12, 14, 16 week times, however long it would be, would I do it in the first place? So I've got to manage my state. I've got to manage my state again is going to, help my belief, and vice versa. The way I believe about myself is going to help manage my state. If I don't feel confident in what I'm going to do, in what I'm doing, am I going to do it in the first place? We're going to get nerves. We're going to get excited. We're going to, for a lot of runners, we're going to have the trots, as we call it, before we even start, which isn't a good place to be sometimes, because we have all these emotions. And it's about, we're going to get the nerves, we're going to get the butterflies, but it's about helping the butterflies fly in formation. It's no different in life and in business. We need to make sure that we are managing our state, that we are regulating our emotion, because if we have the wrong emotion at the wrong time, it can give us an outcome that we don't need. So it comes from self-awareness, and runners have a lot of self-awareness. We know that things always aren't going to go correct, but it's about regulating. Okay, I know that's not gone correct, and how I feel now is valid because I'm pissed off. But tomorrow I need to kind of regain myself and get myself in a better state where I'm ready to go again. No different in life and business. Also, one with runners, which is very critical. And as I said earlier, when you're at mile 10, 15, 20 in a race, you've got to deal with distractions, because your brain is going to start working against you. It's really going to start working against you. And we're all human. We all have a brain, and we know how our brain can be the biggest asset we've got, but also our biggest hindrance. And it all, again, stems from good inner communication. Runners need to have that good inner communication. If that runner's telling himself he's going to hit the wall, do you know what? That runner's going to hit the wall. So that runner needs to be communicating with himself or herself or themselves to make sure that dialogue is where it needs to be. Also with that is, attentional consistency. I need to be knowing where to put my attention at any given time. If I spend too much time in my brain when I'm running, I'm going to talk myself into hitting the wall. That internal coach is going to be saying, you need to stop, this is getting too hard. It can be useful to come in to check in with myself, but I need to understand when I need to come in and when I also need to put my attention out. Spend too much time in here when things are getting tough, it can get even tougher if the relationship isn't how I need it to be. Okay, I need to know when to put my attention out as well. I need to know where my focus needs to be at any given time. It's no different in life and business. If things are going shit and things aren't going the way, and we spend too much time in our head ruminating over the problem, is that going to be any good? It's not. It's about, okay, where does my attention need to be? Yes, this isn't going how I want it to be. However, I need to be putting my attention somewhere else to actually give me what I need to help myself communicate with myself better. Same as in life and business. It's about finding flow. It's about finding the zone, as we call it in running. It's about finding the flow. When we find the zone, that's when things are effortless. And through psychology, we are able to find the zone. And it starts with understanding when your attention needs to be at any given time. Okay, and obviously the third part of the quadrant there is is it a quadrant? The quadrant's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
What
You're getting ahead of yourself.
What do we call it where it's 3? A what?
A triad.
A triad. Let's call it a triad. Thank you, Tony.
I think so, yes.
That's why you're the CEO and founder, and I'm just a student.
I might have that wrong.
Okay, so the feedback, feedback is important in our life, in our business. We need to understand what's going well. We need to understand what's not going well, so we can then put things in place to help ourselves improve. We need to be measurable. Things need to be measurable so we can feed back to ourselves and to colleagues and, depending if we're in a business, to partners or whoever, we need to kind of be able to have tangible things that we can feed back to understand if we're making progress or not. With a runner, after training, we need to understand where we are. We need to kind of understand ourselves. Am I training too hard? Do I need a rest? Do I feel I'm making progress? Because we might need to make tweaks to our run, just like we need to make tweaks to our lives. It's about planning for things to work positively, but understanding when things aren't working well. And that, again, only comes from feedback, so we can make the necessary changes to make sure that we are on track to hitting our goal. And that comes from feedback in sport, feedback in life, feedback in business. And again, having that conversation with myself. Do I need to put more miles in here, or do I need to preserve my energy? Do I need recovery? Because again, in life, it goes 1,000,000 miles per hour, doesn't it? Life happens, and it just happens. Unless we kind of sit back and say, okay, how am I? How am I doing through this? What do I need right now? And understanding, okay, do you know what? I need a rest here, or I just need to slow down a bit. Because sometimes we think by slowing down, actually, it's going to hamper our progress, where slowing down at the right time will actually help us maintain our progress. And again, runners are great at doing that by having that self-checking, that self-regulation in how am I actually doing? Because we're looking for a constant improvement. And as I said, sometimes constantly improving takes actually taking a step back. And some things I've said to runners before is, taking a step back could actually be your biggest step forward, if that is what is required at that time. Runners know this. Runners need to understand on that plan that they're following. Like I said right at the start, am I on track for the outcome? Is this plan I'm following on track, or do I need to make tweaks? Same as in life, same as in business. And also with the feedback, it holds us accountable to our progress, because we want to progress. But like I say, sometimes progress, we need to take a pause with progress by kind of checking in with ourselves and thinking, okay, what do I need right now? And we can only do that by communicating with ourselves or our teams with that very important feedback. Okay, next slide, please, Tony. And this is what runners do. They talk the talk and they run the run. They set that goal. They plan for that goal. They have great self-awareness with themselves in regards to that goal. And you know what? Like life, like most goals, you could turn up on that run line and not achieve that goal. And the first thing a runner will say after he finishes a race will be, I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. That was so painful. That hurt me mentally. That hurt me physically. And then what happens? They book another race, because it's all worth the blood, sweat and tears, just like a lot of things we do in life. So that is kind of small introduction into the runner's mindset. And again, just understand the parallels. It's not just about the runner, it's the person that runs, and how we can kind of use those tools to actually help us within our personal lives and businesses. So in regards to that, there's going to be more information to come. And again, possibly looking at doing a workshop on it. But keep your eyes on the UKCPD website and Tony's other channels, and there'll be some more information on it soon. So I hope that was useful. And again, at the very least, you've taken a few little bits of information away there. I know it was a whistle-stop tour, but that, in a nutshell, is the runner's mindset and how it can be applied through life.
Yeah, very good. I have to say, there was a few things I'm going to pick up on with you in a second. But if anybody's got any questions or comments, just put it in the box and we'll respond, and then we'll do the draw. But one of the things that stood out for me there, John, was about was your attention. And of course, in NLP, we often say the difference between attention and intention. And I guess what's my intention here is to win or complete the race even. But where's my attention? Is it on the pain or is it on my destination? So that's kind of an interesting thing. We talk a lot about that in especially executive coaching. What's your intention here? But what's taking your attention? And that can be a big thing. I think it's Spillman's written stuff about that, applied positive psychology. It's very, very interesting. It really is. And I think I might have told you this before. I used to work with a guy who was a runner way back in my recruitment days, and he used to do a lot of running. He was super skinny like you, but his kind of mantra or way of staying in state was he would say over and over again, smooth running. And I used to say to him, what do you mean you say it over and over again? Because I'm in the zone, just there, smooth running. I thought, wow, that's an anchored state, big time. That really is an anchored state.
It's also then, by having that mantra, it stops any other chitter chatter coming in.
Getting in.
Staying present.
Yeah.
Like
I see that now.
Putting where your attention is, it's keeping you present.
Yeah.
It keeps you present. It stops your mind wandering off where it doesn't need to be. It helps with that attentional consistency. It helps just keep that attention consistent.
Super. So yeah, we'll back and forth, and if there's any questions, put them in the comment box. We're going to do the draw in a minute. And obviously we'll work towards having a proper workshop for yourself. I think it'll be very, very interesting, and it'll be open to everybody, not just college members. We'll put it out there to everybody who may be interested. Right, I need to put my glasses on now. So hashtag BIG, if you haven't already done that, let me just move that out of the way. You have to remember how to do this every time. How do I do this? I always forget. That's it. I've got to share screen. Share screen, giveaway tool, share. So hopefully you can all see that. I'm going to run it now. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. And we'll ask, so stay put, don't just drop off. So I need to find out which gift you'd like. Wendy. Hey. So Wendy is our winner this evening. So let me just stop sharing for a second. Back to, whoops, I almost closed the whole thing. So Wendy, if you're still there, please still be there. If you could let me know if you'd like the Guide to Critical Thinking, Learning to Learn, or the journal, let me know which one, and it'll go out in the post over the weekend. I'm not sure I'm out tomorrow or not, but if I will pop it in the post. So I'll upload it in the comments, and I'll make sure that goes out. Well done, Wendy. Yes. So Wendy, if you can let me know which one you'd like, that will be marvelous. So John, any other sort of tips before we get to the end of our presentation this evening?
Ooh, tips on what?
Tips. Performance and the advancement of.
Oh, the performance and advance of. Do you know what? A lot of people I speak to, Tony, especially now when we come through this hibernational part of winter, it's now spring, things are getting a little bit warmer and people's mood is rising, like all of us, and again, a lot of people feel guilty in the winter that they feel a certain way.
They
feel guilty, and I'd say, well, do you know what, animals hibernate for a reason. Transfer that into a performance sense. If you've not been feeling yourself because of winter, well, do you know what? We're now moving on into a new, new season. So now is the time just to spread those wings a little and
get out, get of the office, get away from the telly, away from your Kindle, your screens, and your phones. especially this weekend. It's going to be nice, people. Really get out there and make the most of it. So Wendy's having critical thinking, so I'll make sure that goes out over the weekend. Okay, guys, this was absolutely beautiful as always. Oh, here we go. Really interesting presentation, John. I enjoyed my husband. Oh, her husband is around, and he's listening in. Well, hello, husband.
Oh, thank you, husband.
Feel free to join up as a member of the Be Inspired group. It's free, and you'll get all the stuff. You won't have to share. Exciting. That'd be good. And then you can watch out for John's workshop on running coming up very, very soon, and very, very near future. We'll make sure that's going to be a big headline thing, because I know a lot of people will be able to think, oh, maybe I would like to do a bit more. Maybe get off the couch. There's that app, isn't there? Couch to 5K.
5K, yeah.
My niece is doing that right now, actually, even as we speak.
Nice.
Kind of interesting. Alrighty, so John, stay on when I press stop, so it'll spool and upload so we can put the video in the group tomorrow. Guys, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye for now.
Okay, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sure you did. It was a great show. Many thanks to everybody who came along and participated. And of course, thanks to John and our giveaway winner, Wendy, who won Developing Critical Thinking Skills, Learning to Learn. Alrighty, guys, that's it for this week. I will catch you next week. Till then, take care. And it's spring, so get out there and get some sunshine. Bye for now.